You look at your phone. 5 bars. A video loads. A call connects. You don't even think about it. But somewhere, high above the ground, there's a man clinging to a steel tower. Hundreds, sometimes thousands soft feet in the air. He's not in a spotlight. He's not on the news. He's not even in your thoughts. But your world runs on his courage. Every text you send, every emergency call, every moment of connection, it all depends on a worker who dangles where birds don't fly and clouds don't stay still. His job is quiet, his presence invisible. But his absence, you'd notice that. While you sip coffee in your kitchen, he's already climbing. While you scroll in bed, he's tightening bolts in the wind. One misstep, one broken harness, and the sky becomes the last thing he sees. But he does it anyway, day after day, tower after tower. He is the reason the modern world hums without interruption. He is a tower climber. And this is his story, not told from the ground, but from the edge of steel, where silence hangs heavier than gravity, and a single man keeps us all connected. Welcome to Unsung Hands, where silent hands are finally given a voice. Here, we tell the stories that time forgot, stories of those who work quietly behind the scenes, building the world while no one notices, jobs that never make the headlines, but without them, nothing runs. If you believe that every life deserves to be heard, hit like to support these quiet but powerful stories. And don't forget to subscribe to Unsung Hands, so each week we can uncover another hidden chapter of the human journey together. The alarm rings at 4:15 a.m. No snooze, no second thoughts. Alex sits up in the dark. The motel room is silent except for the low hum of the air conditioner. His boots are by the door, still dusty from yesterday's climb. His harness hangs on the chair, coiled like a sleeping snake. He moves slowly but deliberately. First, he checks the weather wind speed, temperature, storm warnings. Then, he goes through his gear: gloves, helmet, lanyards, safety hooks. Every piece gets a careful inspection. Up there, one faulty clip could mean a free fall through 1,000 feet of empty sky. He eats in silence. A protein bar, some lukewarm coffee. The world outside is still dark, the streets empty, the air sharp. By 5 a.m., he's in the truck. The headlights cut through the morning fog as he drives down narrow roads, past quiet farms and sleeping towns. The cell tower he's assigned to is another hour away, a remote structure in the hills, miles from the nearest convenience store, let alone another human being. Most people start their day with a desk, a keyboard, a routine. Alex starts his with a climb into the sky. He doesn't listen to music, doesn't make small talk, just watches the road, steady and focused. Because in a few hours, the earth will fall away beneath his feet, and gravity will become a constant whisper in his ear. By the time Alex reaches the site, the first light is breaking through the clouds. A blanket of mist still clings to the hills, and the tower, tall, silent, unmoving, cuts through it like a monument to something forgotten. It stands over 1,000 feet tall, a web of metal and bolts stretching endlessly into the sky. From the ground, it doesn't look real. From the top, the ground doesn't look real either. Alex steps out of the truck and opens the back. He straps on his harness, tightens each buckle, checks every carabiner. It's second nature by now. Muscle memory, a practiced rhythm. But he never rushes. Rushing gets you killed. He walks to the base of the tower, places a gloved hand on the first rung, and breathes in. The air is still. The world is quiet. No traffic, no voices, no background noise. Then he begins. One hand, one foot, clip, reach, repeat. The steel is cold and rough under his gloves. The harness tugs slightly with each move, reminding him he's tied to something but not to safety. There's no safe up here. There's only focus. 10 feet up, 50 feet. 200. Below him, the trees shrink. The truck becomes a dot. He doesn't look down, not because he's afraid, but because looking up is the only direction that matters. 500 feet. 700. The air grows thinner. The wind begins to hum. Up here, everything feels different. The world below fades into silence. The only sounds are the soft rattle of metal, the whistle of wind past his helmet, and the steady rhythm of breath inside the climb. At 1,000 feet, Alex stops. He's at the top. He unclips from the lifeline and shifts his weight carefully onto a narrow beam. No platform, no railings, just sky on all sides. The view is breathtaking and meaningless. He's not here to admire the sunrise. He's here to fix a problem that no one else will ever see. A malfunctioning transmitter box, dead signal, silent data. Phones go dark when this tiny device fails. He reaches into his tool pouch, pulls out a wrench. Even here, where the wind claws at his arms, the work is delicate. A missed thread on a bolt, a stripped screw, a wire out of place, any of it can undo the climb. So he works slowly, deliberately. His body sways with the gusts. One hand always holds the steel. The other tightens connections, checks fuses, cleans ports. Below him, the earth spins on in ignorance. People text, they scroll, they call. And up here, one man keeps their world alive bolt by bolt, breath by breath. From the ground, it looks like a structure. Just metal and bolts. Just another tower in the distance. But to Alex, it's something else. A workplace without walls. A stage without applause. And above all, a test-off focus, of endurance, of trust in things that can't fail. Most people never think about cell towers. They think about signal. They think about bars. They complain when things don't work. But they never ask who climbs into the clouds to keep the signal alive. There are only a few like Alex left. Not because it's a dying trade, but because few can stay. Some quit after the first near fall. Some can't stand the silence. Some look down and never climb again. And some don't make it back. Alex still remembers the day it happened. A friend, a coworker, a sudden gust. 1 second, they were laughing through the comms. The next, nothing but radio static and a long, terrible silence. There was no time to grieve, no ceremony. Just another tower, another job, another climb. People say courage is loud, that it's all fire and glory. But real courage? It's quiet. It wakes before dawn. It climbs without being seen. It fixes what's broken, then disappears before anyone notices. The repair is done. The signal is back. And now comes the part most people forget their way down. Climbing up is hard, but climbing down is dangerous in a different way. Your body is tired, muscles ache, hands begin to cramp, the adrenaline fades. And with it goes the sharpness, the edge, the hyper-focus that kept you alive on the way up. Alex begins his descent slowly. One hand, one boot, one clip at a time. The wind is stronger now, less forgiving. It howls past him, catches on his gear, makes his whole body sway like a flag in the storm. At 600 feet, he pauses. A sudden gust slams him sideways. The safety line holds, but he swings hard into the steel frame. A bruise blooms instantly across his ribs. Pain flares in his shoulder. But he doesn't panic, doesn't curse, doesn't freeze. He waits, breathes, centers himself, then continues. Down past the quiet air, down past the buzzing wires, down past the point where people stop looking up. When his boots finally touch the gravel at the base, it's nearly noon. His arms shake, his shirt clings with sweat, but the job is done. And more importantly, he's still here. He looks up, traces the long, narrow path he just took. From here, the top of the tower is barely visible. Just like the man who climbed it, no one is waiting at the bottom. No camera crews, no applause, just the rustle of wind through grass and the low thrum of the tower alive again, quietly doing its work. Alex unhooks the last clip, removes his gloves, and stretches his sore fingers. There's no trophy, no handshake, just a check mark on a digital form. Tower 174, operational. The world keeps moving. Phones ring, videos load, messages fly invisibly from device to device, and no one pauses to wonder who made that possible today. But Alex doesn't expect thanks. He never has. His reward isn't praise. It's the silence after the job is done. It's the full signal bars on a phone nearby. It's knowing that a mother will reach her son, a hiker will call for help, a town will stay connected because of something he fixed up in the sky while no one was watching. Then he packs his gear, tosses his harness in the back, starts the truck, pulls onto the road. Not toward home, not yet. There's another tower waiting, 100 miles away, maybe more. Same wind, same climb, same quiet, invisible duty. He drives on, with no music, no words, just the low hum of tires on asphalt and the fading outline of the tower in his rearview mirror. Alex knows he won't do this forever. The body speaks in ways it didn't before: slower mornings, tighter joints, bruises that stay a little longer. Each climb takes more out of him. Each descent leaves a deeper ache. But still, he climbs. He tells himself there's time, that he'll know when it's the last one. That one morning, he'll wake up, zip the gear bag closed, and never open it again. No final ceremony, no send-off, just the quiet understanding that the towers will go on without him. And someone younger, stronger, will take his place stand where he once stood, fix what needs fixing, disappear before anyone notices. But not today. Today, he drives toward the next job. The sky is wide, the road is long, and somewhere ahead, another structure waits, cold, tall, and patient. As he turns off the highway onto a gravel road, the tower comes into view. It rises like a shadow against the pale blue sky, unmoving, untouched, calling without sound. Alex exhales, grips the steering wheel, and smiles, just a little. Because as long as he can still climb, as long as his hands can hold and his heart stays steady, he belongs up there, above the noise, above the world, above the lives he quietly helps keep connected. This is the story of a Tower Climbera man who silently risks his life every day to keep the world connected. High above the ground, he repairs cell towers so that calls go through, messages get delivered, and the signal never drops. His work is invisible. No one knows his name. There are no cheers or headlines. Yet without him, the digital world would fall quiet. He faces wind, height, loneliness, and fatigue, not for fame, but for function. His reward is not recognition, but the quiet satisfaction of a job done right. Though he knows one day he'll have to stop climbing, he keeps going, because without people like him, the world would be disconnected. Behind every convenience we take for granted, there's someone working in silence. They don't ask to be seen, only not to be forgotten.